We all know the royals love to avoid and hide away all the scandals. But when it comes to infidelity, there is only so much they can do. And having children out of wedlock isn't something the royals particularly want. But when you do the mischievous dance with someone, there's always a chance to have a few illegitimate babies. Take the well-known Princess Victoria, for example. Did you know that Princess Victoria was once believed to have had an affair and an illegitimate baby? That's right, the mother of Queen Victoria. We all know Queen Victoria as the daughter of Princess Victoria and Prince Edward. But in 2003, biographer Andrew Norman Wilson thought that he had found evidence that she was an illegitimate child and that her father was actually an Irish soldier and close confidant of Edward named John Conroy. Wilson said that none of Victoria's many descendants suffered from porphyria. Porphyria is a hereditary disease caused by the buildup of certain chemicals related to red blood cell proteins. Prince Edward's father, George III, had this disease, so it makes sense that somewhere along the line someone else would have it as well. But years after his initial statement, Wilson did take it back, that he thinks Queen Victoria is legitimate after all. But what do you think? Now we have to talk about Robert Brown. You're probably wondering, who's Robert Brown? Well, he is a man who believes Princess Margaret gave birth to him in 1955 on January 5th. He believes that she secretly gave birth to him and hid the later stages of the pregnancy with a body double. He claims that he was sent to Kenya to be raised because at the time of his birth, Princess Margaret was unmarried and getting over her breakup with Peter Townsend. Brown has never been confirmed to be the son of the princess, but even if he was, he still wouldn't be able to snatch the throne. Do you think Princess Margaret had an illegitimate son? It's now time for a speculation round. Let's get speculate. So, who do you think we're accusing of having an illegitimate child? Is it door number 1, Queen Elizabeth II? Is it door number 2, Princess Diana? Or is it door number 3, King George, but the Hamilton version? Well, the right answer is Princess Diana. There's been a lot of speculation that Prince Harry's father isn't actually Prince Charles. It is believed that Diana was having multiple affairs while she was still married to the Queen's oldest son, Prince Charles. Or, well, should we say King Charles, a name that still just doesn't feel right. King Charles was having his own share of fun while he was with Diana, but we won't get into that now. When Diana was interviewed, she even admitted to having an affair with an army officer, James Hewitt. Many see a lot of resemblances between Harry and Hewitt, but then again, Harry does also look a lot like Diana's brother, Charles Spencer. If it is ever confirmed that Charles isn't actually Harry's father, it would make him an illegitimate royal. However, there's no denying that William is Charles' son. Just look at him. Just like her husband's wife, Queen Camilla, just doesn't sound right, does it? Queen Camilla also had her fair share of fun, and in 2016, a man named Simon Durante Day claimed to be the secret son of Charles and Camilla. His adoptive grandma worked for the Queen and the then Prince Philip. She told Simon repeatedly that Charles and Camilla gave him up when he was born. Simon believes that Camilla fell pregnant with him in 1965, the year she became close with Charles. This is many years before he married Diana. Charles would have been 17 at the time, and yes, technically it is possible for him to have fathered a child at that time. Camilla reportedly vanished for roughly 9 months when Charles was sent to Australia. Was this a coincidence, or was it all planned? Let us know what you think. Now, a story that has been swept under the rug is Marina Ogilvy's illegitimate child. She almost tore the British family apart when she announced that she was pregnant with photographer Paul Mowat's child. Her parents, Sir Angus Ogilvy and Princess Alexandra, the Queen's cousin, told her that she could either have an abortion or marry Paul immediately. She obviously opted for the latter, and the to-be parents were married in February 1990. Their daughter Zanuska was born a few months later, and yes, we know that technically she wasn't born out of wedlock, but she was clearly conceived out of it. It's clear that the ladies love to have babies out of wedlock, but the men are just as busy. Some might even say busier than the women, like Princess Anne's ex-husband. That's right, Captain Mark Phillips had an affair with a New Zealand woman named Heather Tonkin. Their one-night stand resulted in a love child named Felicity Tonkin. Reportedly, Phillips asked Heather to get an abortion, but as we can see, that didn't happen. Felicity is the half-sister of Zara Tyndall and Peter Phillips, Mark and Ann's two children. Ann and Mark got divorced in 1992, but even after the divorce, both of them stayed on the same estate. Both Ann and Mark remarried, but Mark divorced again. Ann and her second husband, Timothy Lawrence, have been together since 1992 and have been happy ever since. Prince Albert II of Monaco is next on this list, and he didn't even have contact with his eldest daughter until she was 11 years old. Jasmine Grace Grimaldi is Prince Albert's eldest daughter. He met her mother, Tamara Rotolo, in 1991 while he was vacationing on the Côte d'Azur. The two had a brief relationship, but when she fell pregnant with Jasmine, Rotolo decided she didn't want her daughter in the royal spotlight. 11 years later, she made contact with Albert, and the two have had a great relationship since. In her first interview in 2015, Jasmine said that she wanted to connect with her father. She wanted to get to know him, and he should have the chance to get to know her. She said that she missed having a father figure around, but it's wonderful that their meetup happened when it did, and that they are having a great time together. Now, Prince Albert isn't just once on this list. Oh no, the prince was once a busy bee, and he had a second illegitimate child. Reportedly, Prince Albert II romanced a flight attendant named Nicole Costa for 6 years. She is the mother of his second illegitimate child, Alexandra Grimaldi Costa. The prince was once very hands-on with his son, but ever since he married his wife, Zimbabwean-born former Olympic swimmer Charlene Wittstock, he has been much more distant. Prince Bernard of the Netherlands will be next on this list, and just like the before-mentioned prince, he had not just one, but two illegitimate children. Now, Bernard was actually born in Germany, but he married Queen Juliana of the Netherlands, so he became a prince consort. The two had 4 children together, but like so many others, he wasn't faithful. Alexia Grinda was the prince's first known daughter who was born out of wedlock. Luckily for her, she had a relationship, unlike her half-sister Alicia, who, you already guessed, is Bernard's other illegitimate daughter. Just before he died in 2004, he admitted that he had a second daughter. When the news broke out of another illegitimate daughter, Alicia de Bielefeld was already 50 years old. She was working as an architect in America at the time when she found out who her real father was. Prince Bernard said that the affair with her mother happened during a major crisis in his marriage, but that is not a valid excuse for not being there for your child. Prince Bernard died on the 1st of December 2004, and while he did not have a relationship with one of his daughters, at least she now knows who her father was. But what do you think? Do you know any of these illegitimate children?